Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is chores and how to get your kids to do them. Or I guess I should say how not to get your kids to do them. As you may know, I have 10 children, and everyone in this house does chores. I do chores too, but I don't do nearly as many as you might think that a mother of 10 children would actually do. My main chores are cooking most meals. Some of the kids like to cook too, so I share. And I do a lot of the laundry. Some of my kids help me with the laundry, but the majority of it is mine. I do not do dishes. I don't clean bathrooms. I do not change the children's sheets. I change my own. I don't sweep. I don't mop. I don't do the only things I do really are cook and clean and direct. Basically, that's my job. I direct. So I know a lot about chores. We have been doing chores the way that I teach now for 5 to 6 years, I believe. It's been a long time. We still maintain the same exact system. It works. Sorry, I just got interrupted by my cute little 5-year-old. He was bringing me my little drink. Okay, where was I? I'm not even sure. So what I was trying to say is, and I hope that this doesn't come across as arrogant, but I know what I'm talking about when it comes to chores. I sell a course teaching moms how to get their kids doing chores, and I've helped over 10,000 women do this. So when I say I know what I'm talking about with chores, I really do. And I hope that doesn't come across as arrogant, like I said. Okay, so today, though, we are going to talk about why having a chore chart or why making a chore chart does not work. Like, I don't have a chore chart, and I won't say I never have, because I did it first and it didn't work. So when I've been doing chores, when I've been having my kids do chores and it's been working, we haven't been using a chore chart. So I want to talk to you about why you should not even bother having a chore chart. And if you have one, you should just get rid of it. So there's 3 reasons why you don't need a chore chart, and it may in fact be holding you back. Reason number 1, a chore chart is not going to inspect your children's chores. Making sure that your children's chores are inspected is one of the key principles for success. Okay, because as humans, and especially as child humans, we like to try and get away with as much as we possibly can, or we like to expend as little effort as possible to get the job done. And a lot of the time, what ends up happening is the kid will do their chores a little bit, or just enough to where if mom doesn't check or look too closely, she'll think that it's done. Well, it's not. Chores have to be inspected every single time, or the quality of work will slide. So many times I hear moms saying, my kids will do the chores, but they don't do them well. Well, they're not doing the chores well because you're not inspecting them and requiring them to do them well. So chore charts do not inspect chores. So that's one reason why it's not going to solve your problems. Okay, reason number 2. Chore charts actually really overcomplicate things, and they end up overwhelming your kids. I remember when I made my first chore chart, I had a list for every child of all of the things that they were going to start doing, and the next day we dove in, and by probably 2 to 3 days we were all burned out. And when I said it's time to do chores, everybody started crying. They're overwhelming. It's a big old chart, lots of chores on it. Even if you have the one that has little pictures on it, that's, with magnets and all of that stuff, it's still, for a child, it is overwhelming to go from no chores to all of these chores every single day. So they just overcomplicate things. It doesn't need to be this big visual reminder of all of the things that they're going to have to now be doing on a daily basis. Okay. Reason number 3, why you do not need a chore chart, is creating a chore chart is essentially busy work. Now, I know that there are plenty of moms out there who are very, very crafty I am not one of them. I'm really not crafty at all. But I know that there's this whole um, movement of women who have these gorgeous, gorgeous planners, and you use the washi tape and all different colored pens. And I mean, it truly is art. It's not necessarily even planning your day. It is beautiful. It's visually stunning. So I've seen the same thing happen with moms who have tried to design, the perfect, beautiful chore chart. And what ends up happening is, even for someone like me who is not crafty at all, when I made my first chore chart, I ended up spending hours and hours and hours working on this thing. And it was just busy work because I spent more time creating this chore chart than I did trying to make it work. Okay, so if you are one of these crafty moms, first of all, I admire you. You do lovely work. But the one thing I would like for you to do is channel your craftiness towards something that you're not going to end up throwing away because you're frustrated with it, because that's sad. Create something that you can frame and hang on the wall, or something else, but don't spend that time on making a chore chart beautiful, unless you have gotten to the point where your kids are regularly and habitually doing their chores and you have everything dialed in. Then if you want to create a beautiful chore chart to reflect what they're currently doing, then go for it. But don't expend that much energy at the outset when you're just trying to figure everything out. Okay, so you're probably wondering, okay, well then what should I do, Ashley? You've just, destroyed the chore chart idea. So keep a list. It's so simple, but it is so much more effective because, especially in the beginning days, in the beginning weeks, you're going to be changing up what you're doing. It is not going to be the same each week. The way that I actually teach things is to add things in slowly. You're building habits. So it's not going to be the same, you start small and build. So, if you just keep a list, it makes it so much easier. The pressure is so much smaller. And the list is not even for your kids. The list is for you. And you don't get to check it off until you have inspected those chores. So that's what I do. I actually don't even have a list right now because it's memorized. It's in my head. The kids know what they're supposed to do because it's a habit for them. So nobody needs to see this big, scary, overwhelming chore chart hanging up on the wall, taking up space that could be taken up by something beautiful. So if you have any further questions about this, like I said, I do have a whole chore system that lays out the exact method that I have used to get a family from doing absolutely no chores whatsoever to keeping the house beautiful and clean and picked up always. So I would love to teach you how to do the same thing. I will leave the link for that in the comments below. If you have any questions, though, feel free to leave those in the comments. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. Chores is kind of my thing. So please take a minute and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. Thanks. Have a great day.